Scott, the MMO world is very big in the Western side of things. What was your sense about MMOs in China?
You know, we'd heard the numbers, and you read the reports, and it says, you know, China is big and China is #1. What we didn't imagine was how big those numbers really were. And the other thing is, you know, in the United States, for example, today, there's really, you know, there's World of Warcraft is kind of the big game in the kind of more serious MMOs, and then you've got games like Second Life, you've got Club Penguin, you've got RuneScape that are also in these millions of users kind of level at this point. What we didn't expect was that when we went to China that there would be so many games that are able to achieve those numbers. You know, where here there's maybe a handful. In China there's many, many games that are achieving this kind of number, and that to us was very exciting about this is something we really do, you know, we reaffirmed ourselves that this is a place we need to be a part of.
You mentioned earlier, Scott, the issue of copyright and piracy and that challenge for Western game companies dealing with that. I read an article recently that American game companies were thinking that perhaps this MMOG strategy or virtual worlds could be a strategy for developing and releasing games in China and coping with that, that piracy issue. What's your opinion of this?
Well, I think the #1 way to fight piracy is an online game, either through a subscription method or a micropayment method. These games, we don't care if you copy the code, we just want the subscription fee, right? That's how we make our money. I think you're going to see a number of companies, you know, Microsoft for a long time has been trying to make Office maybe more of a subscription instead of something you buy in the store. And I think this type of game, and really software development in general, is going to be the future. And specifically in areas like China where copyright is so flagrant, it's going to make a big difference.
Scott, when you're reading, when I'm reading various trade journals and whatnot, I get the sense that a lot of American companies feel threatened by the rise and the power of Chinese gaming companies. What's your sense of that, and should American Western companies feel threatened? And if they do feel threatened, if it's justified, what can they do to shore up their own economic base?
Sure, I think that, you know, like anything else, they should be threatened. And if you think that you can do nothing and continue the way you are and you'll be fine, I think that would be a mistake. I think what you need to focus on is what do Western companies do great, and how are you going to maintain that market edge, right? One way is you have a really strong IP. I mean, another way is kind of the tie-ins with Hollywood. You know, if you look around the world, it's the Hollywood types of what's big there is kind of culturally works throughout the world. And so tying to that and then using that as a strength in your development is a good way of sort of making sure that even though maybe their labor costs are going to be lower, because soon their people will be just as trained, if not more trained, in the same development techniques we are, it's the IP and the content where we can keep, you know, the edge and stay kind of one step ahead.
Leveraging off of what we're already strong and developing that, and using those strengths to basically battle it out in the economic arena then.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you, Scott.
Yeah, thank you.
For those viewers who are interested, in just a moment you can see some additional information about NetDevil, the Sim Game Exchange, and the IGSA. If you're an interactive gaming or simulations company based in Colorado, please visit www.igsa.biz and be part of us. The IGSA is now seeking to be officially recognized as the newest gaming cluster in the United States. And be sure to watch Part 2 of this video series. Part 2 is a fascinating interview with Lisa Hansen, the managing partner of Nico Partners, which is the leading industry analyst for the Chinese gaming markets. She is going to tell you strategies about how to break into the Chinese gaming market. You don't want to miss that. Thanks again. The mission of the Sim Game Exchange is to connect the virtual world to the business world. As official partners of the IGDA, the Sim Game Exchange can help you increase profitability, raise money, locate new business partners, sell or license your IP, connect with other technical talent, develop new profit centers, diversify into serious gaming or advergaming, and expand your customer base. For example, we have a national restaurant group that is developing a large-scale, game-based training simulation for sale to the restaurant industry. We are looking for developers who get the Agile Scrum methodology, and we're looking for a long-term relationship. Therefore, we have built in excellent shared equity upside for you. For more information, please go to the simgameexchange.com. Thank you.
We formed NetDevil in 1997 to be a place where we could create online games. We saw what was coming from the future, and then what used to be a niche today is mainstream. We have a number of titles under development, with Jumpgate Evolution, our space title, Warmonger, our shooter, and LEGO Universe, our game for kids of all ages. We've grown from 3 people to 70 employees at this point, and we're looking to grow past 100 by the end of the year. So if you're a talented engineer, artist, or designer, we'd love to hear from you. Please go to www.netdevil.com and join us.